Hi guys, so I'm here with Jaeger Wells and Vic Chan. So how are you?
Fantastic.
Great.
It's not raining anymore here in Houston, so I can't complain.
Yeah, it's not a blistering 120 degrees outside anymore, so I'm happy about that.
So you'll be releasing your new EP, Fever Dream Anthology, at the end of this month. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we're really excited. We went into the studio in February. Worked with Ace Enders from the early November to put this collection of songs together. And really to me, these songs are they stand alone pretty well, but together, it's all about kind of the voices inside your head all talking at once, and you trying to find some clarity with that. And I always kind of pictured that kind of as a fever dream. You get a lot of really intense emotions and feelings happening, and it's giving you um, hints and guides of how to go forward with stuff, and you have to figure that all out. And so that's one of the reasons why we call it Fever Dream Anthology. And it's I'm really proud of this, and I think it's gonna speak to a lot of people.
So who and what influenced both the release and I suppose the general music style?
Mm-hmm. I think, and Vic can definitely chime in on this. One of the big things that I felt that has really influenced, I guess, this music is, Ben Folds Five, Bare Naked Ladies. Stuff that was really kind of crucial in the '90s, and I loved that because it was pop music, but it was kind of off the rails and really quirky at the same time. And I think that kind of speaks not only to kind of my personality, where I kind of have it together, but it's still like, whoa, he's a loose cannon. I think that's one of the really big influences. Vic, what do you think?
I feel like we even before we started even recording, we sat down with Ace and we spent a lot of time just trying to figure out how because a lot of this project is like a reflection of like how you are. So I was trying to how do we translate your personality into like a song like into music?
Yeah.
So you've released your newest single, "What It Feels Like," which is also on the EP. Can you tell me a little bit about that track in particular?
Yeah, this is. I like this track because it's kind of a reflection of not only how my songwriting process goes, but it started out as a story about a couple friends of mine that were in a relationship, and there was a lot of mistrust and thinking that something bad was always going to happen. And I was trying to write a song about that, but then it kind of turned into not just a song about someone cheating on them, but it's that feeling that something bad is just right around the corner, and worrying about what's going to happen when it does. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that it was, yeah, this stuff happens, but sometimes you just gotta take a deep breath and jump headfirst into the unknown, and try to land on your feet, because you can't predict the future. What's always going to happen.
And what made you particularly pick that song as the first release?
That's a great question. I liked it because I thought that it was a great introduction to kind of this full band sound that Vic and I have been trying to put together. I think that I like it because it kind of feels a little bit retro at the same time, but still kind of off the rails a little bit, especially in the lyrical content. And I think that it really, really want also wanted to show a positive light. Yeah, all the big scary things that suck in the world can come at you, but you can face them head on, and it is scary, but you can do it.
Mm. Do you have a particular favourite track on the EP and why?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I really like them all for kind of different reasons, and because they all kind of come from very different places in the writing process too. But I would say that my favorite um, is East Coast Ghost, which is the last track on the album, and for that, I think it's because it's fun to kind of have these conversations with myself about thinking. I'm 28 years old, I've been through my early 20s, been through my mid 20s. I'm kind of coming on to real stage of adulthood, right? And wondering how far I've really come as opposed to my friends that have gotten married, have had kids, gotten divorced. I guess it's kind of like my take on kind of the Wonder Years mentality with like the Greatest Generation, that album. Um, it's kind of like that and figuring out, have I really come as far as I thought I have? And Vic, what about you, man?
Ah, I mean, it kind of there's something. I mean, I like things about like all songs like For the Jilted. I like because it has that like '90s alternative that I love. So that I mean, when we were in the studio, how much Ace and I were joking about how the '90s had the best decade of music,
Yeah.
or the '90s was the best decade period, except for Cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Sao Paulo Liars Club is I'd say is probably my favorite song on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, and I suppose as well, jumping on more into your career
Mhm.
as a musician, where do you see and hopefully and realistically see yourselves in 5 to 10 years' time?
Mhm. Ooh, that's a good question. I hope Vic still talks to me in 10 years, mostly.
Nope, this is done. Done.
You know, it's being able to, I look at it as, as an artist, I want to keep being able to kind of push myself to the next level, and it's hard for me to kind of say what the next level is. Ultimately, I'd like to be out there on the road spreading the gospel of Jaeger Wells for everybody all the time. Um, but in terms of like releasing, it's kind of hard to look that far ahead. I have some ideas, but kind of just keep following down the rabbit hole of these ideas and see where things end up, and not being afraid of experimenting with new things.
Mm.
Maybe more synthesizers or something like that. Maybe a drum machine. What
Um,
about you? Oh,
Oh man, I don't even. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin for that. I don't even know I don't even know what I'm doing next week, let alone that far ahead. So, or even an hour from now, I'm not sure. So.
I suppose, why do you think people should check out your music in general if they haven't already?
I think what I like about my music and what I kind of feel about it is, it's a lot of the same messages, but it kind of comes with not as a, I guess, personality wise and lyrically, it's a little more chaotic, and I think that's really at the heart of it. We try to put on the best act that we can, like for our friends and for our families, and kind of keep our composure. But I think with my music, it's the ability to, yeah, I am those messy thoughts that go on in your head when you're trying to figure out why maybe your significant other hasn't talked to you in like 3 days, and
Mm.
or you're just wondering what you're doing with your life and what you should do next, stuff like that. And I think that's I think it really kind of aims for that, as opposed to just kind of like the basic messages out there. It's like it's okay to be neurotic and overanalyze things, and I think that's really what I like from it.
Would you say that's quite um, a unique thing to sort of bring to the music industry at this point in time?
I so too, there's a lot of really talented people that can, they just cut right through the chase, and their messages can be heard. And um, I you don't really get to see a whole lot of, I guess, the thought process in transition as a final product, and I think that's really kind of cool and different, and I think it adds a little bit more of I want to say normalcy, as in terms of, like, I'm a normal person, think it might be a little bit more relatable.
Mm. And what does, other than obviously your EP release, what does the rest of this year and early next year hold for you?
Vic and I have some really exciting things cooking up. We have a really big announcement coming out on November 6th, which we're really excited to share everything with. So that's kind of going to help shape the rest of our year. And then, just getting everything out to the masses, and, going to meet everybody. And then also, continuing releasing some new stuff.
Will there be any chance of any tours at all?
We're working on getting some stuff together right now. It can be a little tough with me being in Houston, and Vic being in Tucson, but it's definitely something that we're definitely in the works on. And like I said, I think you guys might be really excited to see what we got planned for on Friday the 6th.
And finally, describe your music in 3 words.
Oh, I'm gonna credit Ace Enders for this. Punk rock. Oh, I can't. That's 4 words.
Well, punk rock is one word.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. Punk rock.
Go with that for this scenario.
For this scenario, yeah. Punk rock. Neil Diamond.
Well, thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate it, Chloe.